Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney and today I am here to show you what I made with my August Destashify fabrics that I bought in August and then what fabrics I grabbed in September for next month. So if you are not aware, I do have a relationship with Destashify, which is an online fabric destashing aid, kind of like an eBay for patterns and fabrics and yarn and all that kind of stuff. It's fantastic. Now, currently, anyone in the world can buy from Destashify, but they are only accepting right now US sellers, but I know that she has big plans on expanding that internationally. So stay tuned on that one. And actually earlier this month or last week I guess, I did do a video on how to sell something on Destashify if you wanted a little extra hand holding. Now with that video, I did sell my fabric and went through the process of shipping it. And I filmed it as I was doing that, but to be honest, there's so much that I'm gonna have to blur out just because of the personal information, both mine and the buyer that bought things. I just don't think I can, even with all the blurred, I'm just not comfortable putting it out there. So I'm just gonna talk you through it just really quickly before we get into my makes. Basically, it's very easy. It took no time at all. She really holds your hand through all of it. So when I got the notification that it had sold, I went ahead and I put it into an envelope. And if you are in the US, which she's only taking US sellers right now, you can go to USPS.com, which is United States Postal Service, and you can order flat rate boxes and envelopes for free, and it's free shipping. They just send you some. So I ordered, 20 large envelopes and 20 medium flat boxes. That's all for free. That they're just going to send to me. Now this first order I wasn't able to send in that. I just grabbed a large padded envelope that I had that my fabric fit into. But yes, you can get those bags and boxes for free and they'll ship them to your house if you have quite a bit that you want to sell like I do. From that point, because you don't know, I mean, one seller may buy, or one buyer might buy a few of the pieces that you have out there. So you can't really determine exactly what your shipping cost is going to be. Destashify does keep shipping flat rate, so $5 for domestic shipping and $10 for international. I believe that's correct. But for instance, the fabric that I shipped out was $8 to ship. So you just need to take into consideration and maybe, you know, decide what you want to get for your fabric and add just a little bit extra on for shipping depending on its weight. I used a digital food scale that we just had because when and I'll talk about the labels I had printed here in just a second, but yeah, you can go ahead and weigh your fabric, and I think, so then you'll have the box and or the envelope are very minimal as far as weight, like it's not going to change the shipping cost that much. So I would just go ahead and weigh. You can go on to, it's called Pirate Ships, and this is the online source that Destashify recommends, and you can get an estimate. I think, like a roundabout estimate. Obviously it's not, it changes a little bit probably from where you're shipping from and where you're shipping to. But I was able just to go on there, put in my address and set up my account with them, and then put in the seller or the buyer's address and buy my postage through them. And then on my printer at home, I was able to print out the label, and I just affixed that to the front of my envelope, and then I went to the post office and just dumped it in the bin that's right there, the drop-off bin. And when I bought that label, it gave me a shipping tracking number through USPS, which is the United States Postal Service, and which I find to be the cheapest. You can also ship with this Pirate Ship, you can also ship UPS, I believe, if that's more your jam. But it's the priority shipping. It comes with the insurance, it comes with the tracking number, and then I just entered that tracking number into the account for that sale back on Destashify, and then they released the money to me. So I've already been paid. Destashify does take 15% plus $1 of everything you sell, so keep that in mind as well. Which any of these types of things, they take a fee because that's how they pay for their own costs of staying afloat. Anyway, I was very pleased with how easy it was. Gosh, let's see, I mailed that on Friday, and I think it was 3-day shipping, so my person should be getting it today or tomorrow. I can't remember off the top of my head. So hopefully that all works out well. So I was just wanting to answer some of the questions that were in Friday's video if you had any of those. Okay. It was very easy. So now I just need to find time to take pictures of everything else I've got, good pictures, and get those uploaded. So stay tuned. But this is what I grabbed in August. So in August, I grabbed 3 fabrics, and I'm wearing one, and then I've got these 2. It was definitely a month of dresses. So I was doing comfort sewing for this month because I was back and forth to Missouri twice in September, and that takes a toll. I'll tell you, audiobooks are the best thing because I'm making an 8-hour drive by myself, 8 hours there, 8 hours back, so 16 hours total. If you guys have any good murder mysteries that you love, let me know in the comments below. I started reading Louise Penny. I read her first book of her series, which was called A Still Life. Loved it. It's set in a little village outside of Montreal. And it is a French detective, and I liked the little bits and pieces of French that slid into it as well. The guy that was reading the book was really, really good too. But it was a fantastic mystery, and I really loved it. So if anyone has like any cozy type mysteries, I say cozy, I mean it was a murder mystery, but I just really enjoyed it. Let me know down below because I am using my Libby, which is the online that my library has, for checking out audiobooks, and if they're available, I have been gobbling them up, and I'm finding they're kind of fun to listen to at home as well. But that being said, it was all about comfort sewing. It's going to get chillier here. In fact, today the high, let's see, I just took a walk at noon, and it was only 61 degrees here in Indiana, which is my perfect time of year. But I'm needing just some warmer things as we tend to go down. So, in temperatures. So let's start with what I'm wearing. So this is a viscose twill from See You at 6, and I'll show you the beautiful print. I love the colors. It goes with my fall capsule. This is the Love Notions Harmony dress that I have hacked into Love Notions Harmony blouse that I have hacked into a dress, and I lengthened the sleeves just a little bit. Although I don't know that I needed to, because I'll probably wear my Metro blazer over this. I'll probably wear cardigans over this. I love this thing. I've added, it's gonna be hard to see, I'll pop pictures of me in it. I added a tier to the bottom to make it maxi length. I was gonna leave it midi, but once it was made up, it felt a little hospital gown to me. So I put the frill on the bottom, the tier on the bottom, and now I feel very trendy and very on point. Now, I realize this style of dress, clearly it's very shapeless. Like I don't have, let me get in front of the girls here. I don't have like waist shaping, you know, in here. Although this does have a center back seam that allows for some waist shaping in the back. But it is definitely the harmony itself is fitted through the bust and then flares out to the hip as a top. I am just feeling, again, very on trend in this. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I feel really good when I'm wearing it. It's extremely comfortable. I'll be able to put things over it, cardigans, my blazers, wear boots with it. I actually have my tennis shoes on with it today, which I know some people are gonna remind them back to the working 9 to 5 when the ladies would take off their high heels and put on their tennis shoes to walk to and from work. But again, I'm feeling very trendy in this. So I realize it's not every cup of tea, but that's okay. That's okay because I feel great wearing it and I am in love with this dress. But I have a whole video on 1 pattern 3 ways with the harmony blouse over on Love Notions channel. It went up, gosh, I think like September 9th or something like that. But I show the hack on how I made this into a dress if you are interested in one as well. When one doesn't have a waist or much of a waist and it's a high waist, sometimes it's nice to do things that don't have a waist seam because then where is my waist? No one knows. It could be, you know, it could be in a normal spot. It could be right where it is. So I like that. I like drop waists on me and I like things that don't have a waist seam. Waist shaping's fine, but I like things that don't have a waist seam because I can get away with making my torso look a little bit more proportionate to the rest of my body because it's very short in comparison to my legs. So I love this dress. It is a 10 out of 10 for me. Today's the first day I'm wearing it just because I was waiting for the weather to cool down just a little bit, and it has, and it's been perfect all day long. So big fan of this hack. All right, we'll do this one next. Okay, this is my Wanderlust. So I have made 2 of these, you guys, well, I've made 2 of these previously. I now have 4. I have this one, and then I've made one in that red Ponte, which you guys will be seeing in a future video. This is the Wanderlust with the midi length version. I have done the size 14 and I've done a full bust adjustment on it, and I do the full bust adjustment per the instructions on the pattern. So it's a little different than my knit full bust adjustment. I just wanted to try her method, and I liked it. It worked really well for this dress. So, you know, just so you know, the method that she suggests in the pattern is fantastic. This pattern is by Pattern Emporium, and 14, I did do a full bust adjustment. I did the there's 3 different necklines. There's like a deep scoop, a mid scoop, and then a higher neck, like a high scoop. I did the middle one. I can't remember what she calls them though. I've done the lower one. In fact, my first one that I made, I did the lower one, and I love it. I love that dress. It's just a little cleavage-tastic. It's fine for what I wear it for, but my second one that I made, which is the periwinkle in white, it's in the upstairs closet now. It's been put away for the spring summer, but I liked the neckline on that one better, so I did the middle one on that one and liked it a little bit better, so I went with that one for this as well. So this is a sweatshirting, so it's a jersey on one side and fleece on the other. So this is like wearing this is a wearable blanket, folks, a wearable blanket. So you can see it's got the fleece on the back side. It is so snuggly and so lovely. And again, I feel like I'm wearing a blanket. So it's like an upscale fitted Snuggie. So like I mentioned before, when I am at my parents' working, and I basically am living in an apartment in their basement when I'm there. It's not a full apartment, but it very well could be. So all my stuff's down there. I work down there, I sleep down there. I even have my coffee in the morning down there. There's a couch and TV and stuff all down there. So I don't have to constantly be up in their business, but I'm still there to help when I am there. This is gonna be perfect for that, because even though it's a lovely basement and it's beautiful, it's got full windows in the basement, it's a walkout, it's gorgeous, it still gets chilly. So I'm very much looking forward to wearing this dress, also around my own home, as the weather gets, cools down. But God, this is so lovely. Very happy I went with the Wanderlust for this one, and I think it's flattering. So, I'm gonna be able to throw on tights with this, throw on boots, and I'm gonna be set and ready to go, be very warm. Okay, then for my third fabric here, this is a French terry. So this has the jersey on the one side and then the loop back on the back side. I would say they're similar weights. This is a heavier French terry. Some French terries aren't as heavy. This is a pretty heavy one. It feels amazing to the touch. This is just lovely. And this is the same fabric designer. I can't remember what it's called though. And I think, if I remember correctly, when I bought from this seller, she said these were both from Guthrie & Ghani in the UK. But they're just beautiful. So for this one, I was playing around with what pattern I wanted to make this. I just love this fabric. Look at this pattern. It's just gorgeous. This is my favorite pattern. Isn't that beautiful? It's like watercolor flowers. And this is totally in my color palette for fall. I mean, all these are, but anyway, I was going back and forth what dress I wanted to make, if I wanted to make a sweatshirt, if I wanted to make the Itch to Stitch Bainbridge. My Itch to Stitch Bainbridge, though, that I currently have in my closet is kind of this mustard color. It's in a teddy kind of a coating that I made it out of with the Liberty accents. I love that thing. I do wear it all the time, and yeah, it's in my active wear stuff. But I thought, it's very similar colors to this one, so did I want a second one and with that close of color, since I still wear that other one so much? So I decided not to do that, and then I was like, well, do I want another dress? I don't want to do another Wanderlust. I want something a little different, because I thought about the Love Notions title. Anyway, long story short, I was going to do another Stanton dress. I thought that might be a fun idea. But I have a lot of Stantons, so I was just trying to figure something out. And actually, the Olympia, the Love Notions Olympia that I made my batik version a few weeks ago now that you guys have seen, it was still out. I hadn't put it away yet. So I was sitting here thinking, and I happened to glance down. I was like, oh my gosh, I should make another Olympia out of that. So I did, and I was gonna put sleeves on this, but I ran out of fabric, and which I was really bummed about at first. And I thought, oh no, have I just ruined all this fabric? Like, I mean, do I want a sleeveless Olympia that's in like this heavy French terry? I will never wear this in the warm months. And then it dawned on me to wear it as a pinafore dress, which is, why didn't I think of that? So I have paired it, and I will pop up footage of me actually in it over a turtleneck, and it's perfect. I have this olive one. Even though there's not olive in the fabric, I think that tonally that the olive goes really, really well with this. But I have two turtlenecks that are planned. If you watch my fall video, you know that I have two planned. One in kind of an ivory color, and then one in kind of this brick red color that's also in this. And I think I'm gonna go, instead of doing the Hepburn this time, someone asked me why I didn't do the Love Notions Arlington, and it dawned on me that I have never made just the straight Love Notions Arlington turtleneck. I've made the cropped one that has like the bishop sleeve, and I loved it. I've made the dress version, but I've never just made the straight turtleneck. So I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try that with those two fabrics and see which I prefer. If I prefer the Hepburn or the Arlington. And maybe I'll do one of those fabrics. They don't have to be in the same fabric. I could do one in each, I guess. It would just be easier if I did them in the same pattern. But anyway, I thought both of those colors would be beautiful under this, and yeah, it'd be so cute. And I could also wear a button-up shirt underneath this because that collar comes up really high. I think that'd be fun to have a collared shirt kind of over it. My ivory classic shirt would be beautiful, and my denim Vogue 8772 would also be beautiful under this. So I embraced it. I actually made this when I was back in Missouri, so that whole setup is working well. I was able to actually get some sewing and work done with that. So yeah, the sleeveless version ended up actually working really, really well, and it's not a style of dress that I have in my fall wardrobe, so I'm very excited about bringing this in. I love the neckline on this thing. I love the shaping in the back. This does have a waistband at my waist, but it is loose, like it's not a fitted waistband, so it still skims the body through that area, which I find pretty flattering on myself. So I love this Olympia. So that's what I decided to make with that. So there you have it. These are the 3 makes that I made with my August fabric. I will now take the ladies out and show you what I grabbed for this month, fabric-wise. Okay, so I grabbed 4 fabrics again this month, although I think I'm only be making 3 up. So, and then I also bought something with my extra later, and I want to talk about that here in a minute too. And also in full disclosure, I am gifted a gift card every month by Destashify in order to shop and, you know, buy a few things. I often go over and spend my own money, but it's so addictive. So, anyway, I just went full disclosure on that. And I do that in exchange for, I do a video in exchange for that. So that's kind of the agreement that we have worked out with, that I've worked out with Destashify. I just think it's such a great idea and company, and really want to help support that. And I want it around because I want you all to follow that how to sell on Destashify video so that I can buy your fabric. I'll sell you mine, I'll buy yours, you know, it'll all work out. All right, the first fabric that I bought for this month is this shirting, and it is this brick red with this ivory dots. You guys have already seen this. I've already used it. I made my cashmere at Hollyburn, or not Hollyburn, Honeyburn dress out of this fabric. I was gonna wait, and I just wasn't ready to film this video yet, and I'm like, I really want to make the Honeyburn out of that. I think it'll be great for the holidays, so I just went ahead and cut into it. But so you technically have already seen this. I'll show it again at the end of October, but yes, this was my first fabric. I think I had 3 yards of it, and it's just a beautiful cotton shirting. The dots are printed on. They're not woven in or anything, but it feels lovely. It's a lovely feeling shirting. So that was my first fabric that I bought, and you are gonna see a theme here. Okay, next, well, I'll do this one last. Next up, I grabbed this salmon coral sherbet colored cotton twill. I don't think there's stretch in this. No, because this is the kind of that salmon-y color is in my fall wardrobe. And I have a pair of Itch to Stitch Upland trousers that are in this color, that are full length, and it's a faced waistband trouser, but to be honest, they're a little tight on me right now. I'm working on that, but I thought it would be fun to do a really wide leg pant out of this. So I'm going to use the Love Notions glissandos and do a full length pant. And I think, I may change my mind. I may end up doing just the cropped one, but I would like another pair of Love Notions glissando. I put elastic, even though the pattern doesn't call for elastic. I have a video on how I put elastic in the back, and I just find them very comfortable. I had a pair of shorts that I wore all summer, and then I also have a pair of navy linen pants that I wear frequently as well. So I would like something for, because I noticed last year I got hardly into fall at all, and those linen pants just got too cold to wear. So I would like something that I can wear a little bit further into the cooler months. So I think that these are going to be fun, and I'm excited to pull the glissandos back out and to make another pair. I have a lot of this fabric. I would say, I mean, maybe, if not 4 yards, I have, I mean, it's not, you know, and it's wide. It's like 54, 57 inches wide. Yeah, I have a lot, because this is folded in half. So anyway, I'd probably get something else out of this, maybe for the spring, because I think this color is a great one for spring as well. It's a little unexpected for fall, and that's why I liked it for fall. But yes, these are going to be a pair of glissandos. Whether or not they end up being full length, which I would just go ahead and lengthen those myself, or if they end up being the cropped length. Actually, for spring, it could be fun to do the glissando skirt in this as well. That would be fun to have in my spring wardrobe, and do the button fly. But we'll just pants for right now. Okay, and then this one I'm not going to get made up, only because it's a linen viscose blend in this gorgeous like gold color, which is totally in my color palette. Love this color. And I just grabbed it because I wanted it in my stash. And it's a beautiful drape to it. It feels fantastic. I can't remember how much I bought, to be honest. But I think this is going to become probably a pair of shorts, maybe a pair of pants, but not until the spring. Again, like I mentioned, I'm just getting out of linen season right now here, but I just couldn't let this, you know, stay behind. But because I sew in a color palette, I know this will work with whatever I do in the spring and summer. So this is going to go into the stash for spring and summer. It's gorgeous though. And then finally, I grabbed this. This is a cotton shirting. And I think the seller said it was from the Sewing Workshop, which her fabrics are all stunning. And while technically this does go with my fall wardrobe, look at these stripes. All right, so we've got, hopefully it reads okay. We've got like, well, that's the selvage, so it doesn't really count. But we've got like my warm red, we've got just a dark blue, we have a cream color, and then this is dark brown that's on either side there. And then we get like a yellow that's, you know, every other thin stripe, every other pinstripe. Isn't that beautiful? I just was so drawn to that. And I was thinking I may make it up for fall. It's very lightweight, so it's very, I mean, you could probably, when I hold it up, the lights will shine through. Yeah, like a voile. But I just think a woven top of some sort would be so gorgeous in this. Actually, this could be a really cool top for the holidays. Now I'm thinking, there's a couple of love or itch to stitch patterns that I may look at doing. One of which, and I'm not going to remember the name of any of these, but it's one where the body is lined and it's got, or no, wait. No, I'm thinking of the one which would be hard to line. I would have to wear it, but I could wear a tank underneath it. I'll pop a picture of it right here. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, that could be cool because it's got the statement sleeve, and then I could tuck it into skirts or trousers. I don't know. There's just something that says holiday about this, and a statement sleeve. So I just think, but again, it is sheer, so it'd need to be something that I could line the bodice of. I love that though, when you line the bodice, but then have the sleeve still sheer. And honestly, when it's, you know, against my arm, you'll be able to see a little bit of sheerness like on my arm, but not a ton. Anyway, I want to do something very holiday for this. So this may wait, you know, I mean, I'll get it done by the end of October, but I may wear this primarily once the weather cools, and when we get into like Thanksgiving and then the Christmas season, this could be a lot of fun. This is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And I have quite a bit of it, but it is narrow. It's like 44 width. So I've got enough to do a really cool statement sleeve. So I don't know, I'll play around. I could also do not to be a broken record, but the cashmere at Montrose, but with that really cool pleated Alton sleeve, because the stripe with the pleats could be really cool. And then I could just line the bodice. I'm gonna think about this, but I think some sort of a top with real big statement sleeves is what that's gonna be. So those are the fabrics that I picked for this month that I will be making up, everything except for the linen. The linen's gonna go in my stash. But when I was on there, so she had sent me a message and she's like, hey, I added another tab for the fall capsule. So if you have purchased the fall capsule guide from Everyday Style, she has, Carrie from Destashify has curated a whole section of fabrics and yarn that are in that color palette that Jen from Everyday Style has selected, which is different from my color palette. I have the same base colors, I just changed like her evergreen for my olive green. Her, she went with like a burgundy color, I changed that to, you know, my red, which really my brick red kind of, is what I've got some that's a little bit brighter, but really more my brick red. And then the pink that she chose, I went with my salmon. So and her black is my navy, all that kind of stuff. But Carrie has put what Jen had picked for the Everyday Style capsule, all sorts of fabrics and yarn over there. And as I was over there, I saw this yarn and I said, well, I've got to have that because it comes across as like my ochre color from far. But when you get up close, can you see the little green and red flecks that are in there? It is just stunning. And it is, it's merino and mohair. It's a worsted weight merino mohair blend. And it's just lovely. Just lovely. So I grabbed everything that this gal had. I think it was 6 skeins. And we've got about 200 yards on each. So I have about 1,200 yards of worsted weight, which will get me a sweater. Or I was also thinking a vest. We'll see. I would have leftover if I did a vest. So I think this may go on my needles next when I finally finish the sweater that I've been working on since March. I haven't actively been working on it since March, but my knitting tends to go away in the summer and then come back out when the weather cools, which I think is probably pretty typical. So anyway, there you have it, guys. That is my 3 makes for September for Destashify, and then the 4 fabrics that I picked for next month, although only making up 3 of those. And then also a little side piece I grabbed, which, I mean, you won't see that for a little bit. That takes me a while to knit, so hang tight on that one. But that's all I've got for today, guys. I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope you get some sewing in. Friday, I'm gonna be, we're kind of starting, not really wrapping up our economical sewing month because I am gonna do in October we're gonna do thrifting with my friend Jenny. I'll show you Jenny's wardrobe in October. I'm gonna do some mending. We're just gonna have maybe like a vlog style video up of just where you can sit and we can mend together, and maybe we can just do that together. Maybe it'll make it easier. So we'll be doing some of that. So this economical sewing and saving money with sewing, that is gonna trickle over into October. But that being said, I have a lot of content planned for the next 2 weeks. You're gonna be getting bonus videos left and right. And it starts with this Saturday. I was part of the collaborators that worked with Cashmerette for their Cashmerette Club. They had contacted me to collaborate with them on 3 of the pattern releases for that club. The first one was the Stanton that you guys saw at the beginning of September, and then their new pattern will drop on Saturday, which is October 1st. So I will have a video and show you my versions of that pattern. I have 2 versions that I made of that one. So that will be up on Saturday, and then I have a little something different that's coming on Sunday. We've kind of finished the Ahead of the Curve hacking series, but I am going to go into some different hacking a little bit. But I was, Style Maker Fabrics reached out to me, and their big fall launch that they do with their fabric. So they release fabric major launches twice a year. One in the fall for their fall winter fabrics, and then once in the spring for their spring and summer. And Lindsay from Inside the Hem does a wonderful video where she goes through each of the swatches. So every single fabric that's going to be coming in on, you know, the big swath of fabric. But Michelle reached out to me and asked if I would like to go through the swatches and just pick some out and make outfits with them, basically. So we're going to be playing sewing planning on Sunday, and I'm gonna pull some of the swatches that I think would go really well into, I'm gonna make like a little mini capsule, and I think I'm gonna, like a module, I'm gonna do a cool color palette one and a warm color palette one, and we're gonna make outfits with some of the samples, some of the swatches, and I'm gonna pair them with patterns to make some ways that you could recreate ready to wear, and we'll be actually looking at the swatches. There's some, I got the whole packet, it's some beautiful ones. So that will be on Sunday, but then the following Sunday we're gonna go back to do a little bit more pattern hacking, and then we'll go back to the sew-alongs, I promise. It's been a while since I've done any sew-alongs or even sewing tutorials where I'm actually sewing. So we will get back into those on Sundays after a couple more pattern hacking videos. We can always revisit pattern hacking again later. Yeah, and then the following week has a lot, next week has a lot of, gosh, you'll have 3 videos again next week as, 4 videos again next week as well. So you're gonna have 2 weeks of 4 videos. So you have a bonus video this week, and you're gonna have a bonus video next week as well. So lots of content coming your way. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.